So Senator Benjamin, we, recently I gave my daughter a kidney.
Fantastic.
She was born with a kidney disease, so it's been a whole road. So fortunately, I was able to be a donor. But in that process, I learned a lot about what that means for a lot of people. It was fortunate for me that I was able to have my wages covered in terms of having vacation and personal time. But in most cases, my recovery period was about 6 weeks. So most people were not going to get that much coverage. And because kidney donation is elective, it's not necessarily covered in all types of health services. So I came across a bill which is called the it's called the Living Donor Support Act. And the idea of this bill is that it would reimburse living kidney donors or living organ donors.
Any organs?
Any organs. Really, there's only two that you do living, so the primary one is kidney.
What's the other one?
The other is liver.
Okay.
This allows the state, for those who live in the state, who give their kidney to someone else who lives in the state, this allows the state to reimburse them for lost wages, additional transportation they need, additional child care, and things that are related to the sacrifice of giving their organ.
So this basically will help people who have the ability to give an organ to take the financial burden away, so that they can do that for a loved one, like in your case you did for your daughter. Right?
Absolutely.
What was the process for? Did you think about the costs of what you were doing, or you just were like, I'm doing it and then we'll figure out the cost later?
Well, for me personally, it was my daughter. I know you understand that. So
right.
It was an easy decision. Later, when you get to that point, you can see what the cost issues would have been.
Right.
The amount of transportation you're doing, the back and forth with the doctors for weeks. And I have friends now who've done this for people who are not necessarily related to them. So I really see how that is for them. And of course, what the problem is, there's a shortage of people who are being living donors. And once you get into the process, you realize it's not as scary as people think it is.
Right.
But people are scared to get into that process. And this bill would help alleviate some of that fear.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know if this bill covers educating people, let them know that, if we pass this bill, that this will be out there for them.
Right, absolutely. Part of it is about education, because the whole basis is to increase the comfort in people donating.
Yeah. Well, listen, I commend what you did with your daughter. I think it was fantastic. Have someone in my office play the role that you played in your daughter's life. I think it's great. And Senator Gustavo Rivera is a good friend, and I know when he puts forward bills that they're thoughtful. So I'm happy to I'm happy to join as a co-sponsor. Of course. Why would you come? Why would you come without it? So you want to come over here and watch me sign this thing?
Absolutely.
And I will fight with Senator Gustavo Rivera to get this bill passed in the Senate. I mean, this is great. So I'm sure you're gonna give this to Gustavo's people.
Absolutely, make sure they get it.
Thank you, man.
All right, thank you, sir.
For what you're doing.